we're going to use this elastic. We're going to serge it on our serger. So the process that we're going to be doing is a little bit different. A lot of people trim with like the fabric and then put it together. This way, what we're going to be doing is laying it on the fabric. And then when we serge it, we're going to turn it like this and zigzag the edges. Okay. So this is a uh, a thong bottom. So we're going to put it right on the edge. We're not going to be cutting. So it's going to be looking like this. Like this. So we're going to put it right on the edge. We're not going to be cutting the elastic. We're not going to be cutting the we're going to be slightly stretching, not too much. See, now, because I'm going around the corner, I'm just putting this around it too. All right. Okay. So there. Hey guys doing? So what we did was put the elastic, because this is a thong underwear. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do now, we're going to stitch this down. We're going to stitch it down like this. And we're going to use a zigzag. We're going to go around it. All right. I'm going to show you that way. We're going to do the same thing with this one. All right. Oh, so these is the triangle. And all I did was put elastic on one side. All right. So we're going to go over to our sewing machine. Doing is using the zigzag. I already have the same color as my and it's like a baby pastel shade of pink. All right, so I'm gonna do it to a zigzag, and then what we're gonna do, we're gonna turn it like this and stitch it down. When you finish with your stitching, make sure that your needle is always in the upright position. Okay, and there it is. So this is it. Make sure always at the upright position. You stitch it down. Okay. So remember, anytime you're doing 38 3/8 not 38, I'm sorry, 3/8 of an inch on your on the plate, always stay there. Do not go over. Stay in the lane. That makes you make sure you have straight stitches, okay? Remember, you always have your needle at the upright position. You always have at least 3 inches out, 4 inches out of thread. And it always up. What I mean by up, this always, let's see if you can see this. This always up. So your needle is always up when you start to sew at all time. You'll never have any issues. You would never have no tanglement or tangling up of anything. Okay? So all we're just doing is to put the string. What we're doing is to put the string in. So I'm just stitching these down. So what I'm going to do is show you how to stitch this band onto this. This is the top of the underwear. Okay? This is the middle. One thing I'm going to do is change my thread because I want this to be on top. And I'm going to zigzag this on top like this. Okay? So I'm going to show you guys how to do that. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to put it to zigzag. Okay? Start from here and go across. So look, what I literally did was, you guys can see this, I put it down on top, put it on top, and I'm stitching it. it look like this. Okay. All I'm doing is securing the ends. I secure one end, and then I'm going to secure the next end. All right, so we want it to be even. I don't want it that long, so I'm cutting this. Okay. It caught, so I just took it off. And what I do is I use a shear scissors. What I did was cut down with the shear scissors. Okay, so this is how it looks. And the shear in the back. Okay, so what I'm going to do is stitch this down at the side. All right. Make sure they're even. Oh, sorry about that, guys. All right, so I'm stitching down the sides, making sure they're even. Okay, guys, so this is the finished product. It's high-waisted. Okay, back up a little bit. It's high-waisted. All right, so this is it right here. As I said before, make sure when you're going around the curve is smooth. Okay, do not stretch your curve. All right, you're stitching on top. So what we're doing is using a very fine, zigzag. Okay, we're making it like it look like it actually make with this onto the fabric. Okay. All right, so we're gonna do the next one now, which is the top. So guys, I'm going to show you how to stitch the band. Okay. So we're going to stitch this band down onto here. I'm going to stitch it down. Okay. Okay guys, so what I'm going to be doing is stitching down. Okay. Stitching this down to here. So what I'm doing is stitching this down, as you can see, to here. I'm using a small zigzag stitch. There's a curve on the bottom, so I'm curving this. I'm not stitching it straight across because it's not straight across. It literally have a curve. So what I'm doing is putting the other piece, continue it. I'm going around the circle, voila, just a curve. There it is. You guys can see it. So what I did is actually stitch it on top. All right, and this is finished. I'm going to neaten the edges with my pinking shear. So I don't keep my edges like this raw. I actually use a pinking shear on it. So it look like that. And I also use the pinking shear on the bottom of the edges. I tell myself I'm a luxury brand designer. So I have to put like details in my work. I want to make people see that I do things a little different. Oops. Ooh, no, it didn't. So I put like little touches to my work. Right? So how it look in the, it's pink and shared in the back. pinky shade. Okay, and we're going to put the string. Put this string. So there's the finishing. I'm going to rhinestone it. And here's the back. Should have the multicolor in the back. Okay. And there it is. All right. So remember how I stitched this? I serge it first. I serge it first, and I use this, and I basically sit it down, put it down on the fabric, and stitch it right to the edge. Do not cut the elastic, and then when I finish, I turn it over like that, and zigzag the ends. So, as I said before, I serge this like this. When it's finished serging, I turn it over and zigzag the edges. So, as you can see, the edges is zigzag. Right here is also zigzag. It is zigzag here, zigzag here, zigzag at the side. And I use the smallest, so I use like a 2.0 for the zigzag, and then I 1.5 for the stitch length. Okay, guys, if you want to ask me questions. Okay, I'm still learning how to do the video. So I'm still learning how to do the videos. It's getting a little bit better, but sometimes I want to bring it near to the to when I'm sewing so that you guys can see, you know. So if any techniques you want me to show you, you can request and I'll do it for you. You know, there's a lot of different techniques for doing this. Some people use the serger and stitch down here, but then when you stitch on the elastic like that with this type of band, you're weakening the elastic. You want it to be strengthened. You want it to be strong. Okay. Hey guys, here's the finished result. Okay. So remember I told you about the stitching. To stitch on top, you're going to use a smaller stitch, zigzag stitch, that you could barely see it. You don't really want to serge the elastic, because you're going to literally change the actual how long the elastic lasts. You don't want to cut the elastic. Okay, so the zigzag will be better, much better than you stitching on the elastic. Because when you stitch on the elastic, especially if you're making bralettes like this, it doesn't look right. You literally have to put it on, place it on top. The zigzag is 2 and the stitch length is like a 1.5. And take time. I do not stretch. Do not stretch. So this is a finish. This is a finish. Okay. All right, guys. So if you have any question, just ask me. Okay. And there are other ways to make these, but I prefer this way because it stays longer. It give you the It it I'm sorry. It stays the elastic of a longer life. Trust me. You know. Um, so it's best just use a smaller big zigzag on it. All right. Any question? Any concern? Ask me question, guys. I'm here for you. All right. Subscribe. Follow me on Instagram. Check out my shops. Okay. And you have a great day.